ESX appoints founding CEO. Buckle up, folks. The Ethiopian Securities Exchange, ESX, has a new sheriff in town. Dr. Tilahun Esmael Kassahun, or as his friends call him, Dr. Tilahun, is the new founding CEO. He's the mastermind behind ESX's creation, having served as a senior project manager. ESX, Ethiopia's first ever securities exchange, is ready to shake things up by transforming the primary bond market into a secondary market for various shares and securities. The Capital Market Proclamation gave the green light for this in July 2021, with the Ethiopian Capital Market Authority, ECM, playing the role of the watchful guardian. And guess what? ESX just announced its transformation into a share company with some big shots as shareholders. The board of directors, including superstars like Dr. Eleni Gebremedin and Zemedene Negatu, are all set to roll. Dr. Tilahun is now on a mission to secure the remaining 75% of capital from private investors, provided the ECM gives a thumbs up. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Before joining ESX, Dr. Tilahun was making waves at the International Finance Corporation, IFC, and word on the street is he's planning to staff ESX with 40 to 50 members, housed in the swanky Menai corporate complex. The future's looking bright. Fitch Ratings dares to downgrade. Uh-oh, Ethiopia. You've got Fitch Ratings raising an eyebrow. The latest report from Fitch Ratings suggests that Ethiopia is skating on thin ice when it comes to repaying its debts. With a growing external financing gap and a serious hard currency shortage, the risk of default is looming large. Fitch decided to downgrade Ethiopia's credit rating from CCC to CC, basically saying, watch out, you're entering the danger zone. Ethiopia's total debt has skyrocketed to over half of its GDP at a whopping USD 111 billion, and a good portion of that is external debt. Despite Ethiopia knocking on the G20 Common Framework's door for some debt relief, the risk of default is like a bad smell that just won't go away. It's not the first time Ethiopia's credit rating has taken a hit, but this time it's serious. The country's foreign currency reserves are barely enough to cover a month of import bills, and to add insult to injury, there's a USD 1 billion euro bond to repay by the end of 2024. Ethiopia has its work cut out if it wants to turn things around. It needs to strike a deal with the IMF for a new program and kickstart the Common Framework debt restructuring process. Here's hoping Ethiopia finds a way out of this financial maze soon. Cooperatives, a recipe for economic growth with a dash of equity and inclusion. Get ready for a recipe for economic growth with a sprinkle of equity and inclusion. And it's all thanks to cooperatives in Ethiopia. These four-tier cooperative systems are stirring up the pot in promoting sustainable economic progress, entrepreneurship, and investment. From primary cooperatives to cooperative confederations, they're all about wealth equality, education, and training for their members. But like any good recipe, there are some challenges to overcome. There's a gender gap, a lack of women in leadership positions, and a need for more investment in training and research. These cooperatives are also big on environmental sustainability. They're the eco-warriors of the economic world, reducing pollution and protecting natural resources. But here's the best part. They're crucial for combating poverty and inequality. They're all about community growth, job creation, and spreading wealth like confetti at a party. With a robust cooperative network, economic growth, investment, and entrepreneurship are all on the table. They're the secret ingredient to success. Cooperative value chains ensure everyone gets a fair piece of the pie. They're aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and they're the unsung heroes driving Ethiopia's economic growth. Bon appétit! Ethiopia's economic rollercoaster ride. Fasten your seatbelts, everyone, because Ethiopia's credit rating is on a wild ride. Fitch Ratings has given it a hair-raising downgrade from CCC to CC. In layman's terms, Ethiopia is now in the danger zone with a high risk of default. It's like standing on the edge of a financial precipice. The country is wrestling with external financing gaps, a shortage of hard currency, and a mountain of debt that makes Mount Kilimanjaro look like a molehill. The situation is so critical that even Ethiopia's attempts to seek debt relief through the G20 Common Framework haven't provided much of a lifeline. With foreign currency reserves that can barely cover a month's worth of import bills and a hefty USD 1 billion euro bond to repay by the end of 2024, Ethiopia is playing a high-stakes game of financial Jenga. To turn things around, they need to strike a deal with the IMF and kickstart the Common Framework debt restructuring process. But the challenges don't stop there. The revenue base is shrinking faster than a puddle in the Sahara, and there's an inflation monster lurking in the shadows. It's like a financial roller coaster ride with more twists and turns than a Hollywood thriller. But let's keep our fingers crossed that Ethiopia's economic journey has a happy ending.